Yo, it's your boy TTK, and welcome back to the first Pokemon BDSP Brilliant Diamond and Shining Power Pokemon video on the channel. The tier has been out since the 19th, so on day 4 right now as I'm recording the video, and the meta has been really fun. I'm going to start uploading Showdown Lives with BDSP OU because it is a really fun meta game, and it is so different from the original Gen 4 Diamond Pearl Platinum OU. And yeah, like a lot of things have been added to it. Like it's just a modern version of Gen 4, and like a lot of Pokemon have their hidden abilities, moves they didn't have in the original Gen 4, even new moves from new generations after Gen 4 that were brought back in BDSP. So yeah, it's a really fun meta game. If you haven't tried it, come play on Showdown. A lot of people are playing it nowadays, and the chat is active as well, Discord server, you know, if you want to have help building teams and whatnot. But today's video, we're going to be going over the types and BDSP OU. I'm sure the tier has only been out for only a couple of days, but I've gotten a good amount of games, and like there's a lot of Pokemon around that like are obviously, you know, very strong, and everyone knows about the strongest Pokemon. But I want to go and categorize the Pokemon by typings, because I think typings is pretty important in the tier when you're considering what type of monster to use. And obviously people are just like, oh, Dragon's the #1 typing, all that stuff. And yes, you're right about that. Dragon is the best typing in the tier. There's other typings that you've probably forgotten about because like it's only day 4, the meta hasn't stabilized yet, and you're probably forgetting about a good amount of Pokemon. But yeah, we're gonna be doing this from an alphabetical, you know, sense. So obviously Bug is at the top, and we're gonna be talking about bug types today. But yeah, subscribe if you guys want to see the rest of the typings. I will just make videos on all of them as well. Obviously the new things might change by the time like I'm making these videos, like some Pokemon might get banned or something, but I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, so I think I have enough time to do what I want to do. But yeah, we're gonna start off with bug type, and obviously this is probably going to be a shorter video because bug types aren't, you know, relevant really. Like even in the first 4 generations of Pokemon, if you exclude any gen after Gen 4, bug types weren't really ever the strongest typing, because number 1, there wasn't a lot of them. Number 2, a lot of them really had low base stat totals. As you can see, the highest base stat total we have here is 515, and that's from our own Gen 4 Pokemon. So as you can see, there wasn't really that many bug types that were really like strong or powerful that were fully evolved. Now here we're in this modern Gen 4 meta, and we have a lot of new moves and stuff, and the bug types niche is mostly non-existent in OU, to be honest. Obviously I'm gonna go over the one that everyone's gonna expect me to go over, which is actually a pretty good one. But the bug type, if you consider the move Sticky Web, yeah, only bug types, and the exception being Smeagol, get Sticky Web. So this is their time as a niche on hyper offense to run Sticky Web. And obviously Ariados is irrelevant because it's just a really bad Pokemon. Kricketune is also irrelevant. Masquerain though, I'll start off with Masquerain, speaking about Masquerain and the Sticky Web niche, because it won't have any place in OU, because again, as if you want a Sticky Web set, you either want to use Shackle or Smeagol. But at the same time, this I'll mention Masquerain only because if lower tiers get developed for BDSP, then Masquerain will probably find the niche as a Sticky Web setter. But obviously this is the only reason why you are going to use Masquerain, because otherwise it really has nothing going for it. And obviously it gets Quiver Dance, but you're not using this in OU as an offensive Quiver Dance set. You're not using it. It also has a 4x weakness to Stealth Rock, and doesn't have heavy duty boots to alleviate that weakness anymore. So there's practically no reason to run Masquerain. But yeah, just a simple move set here: Air Slash, Sticky Web, Bug Buzz, Scold, and you just go max attack, max special attack, max speed, and yeah, that's it for Masquerain. And the other one I want to talk about is Shackle. Now Shackle is the first Pokemon here where you're just like, this thing has a semblance of a niche that isn't completely useless. Now obviously Shackle has been doing the same thing it's been doing since Generation 2, or even when Hazards were introduced in Generation 4 mostly, with Stealth Rock. So the Stealth Rock, Sticky Web, that's all it needs, to be honest. And right now, with the lack of home compatibility that's not coming until early 2022, Shackle does not have access to Encore, so that's a move that is sorely going to miss a lot. But in the meantime, either run Infestation, because you probably just want to break sashes and stuff, and then Final Gambit to get yourself out of there ASAP so you have free momentum. Because Shackle will not die in a single hit unless it's like a choice specs like water move or something of the sort, or a choice band, even a choice band rock move. Like the only one that's probably bringing Shackle down to his sash is like Rampardos, or I mean Sturdy, not Sash. It's like Banded Rampardos, Head Smash, or Stone Edge. Those are the only moves I think Shackle's gonna get brought down to 1 HP. But regardless, Final Gambit will also chip your opponent and kill Shackle instantly, regardless of the health it's at. So you can easily get in your breaker or sweeper or anything of the sort after Shackle is dead. Now the item you run on Shackle is Mental Herb, because the amount of hyper offense that's on the ladder right now, these like Azelfrost, Aerodactyl, the list goes on. All of them have access to Taunt, and obviously Shackle is the slowest Pokemon in the game, so you're gonna get outsped 100% of the time and get taunted. So that's why you need Mental Herb, because Shackle needs to at least get up either rocks or sticky webs, which is going to be really important, especially rocks, because a good amount of Pokemon are running and Sash on the ladder, and just getting that extra chip for your breakers for them to get their job done easier is always good. And obviously the EV spread, you could either go Fizz Death or Spit Death. I don't think it really matters, but I mostly lean towards Fizz Death for some reason. And yeah, that is it for Shackle and the hazards and sticky web part of the bug types, because it's really only bug types that have sticky web in BDSP. Now moving on to, oops, I clicked the wrong thing. Now moving on to the actual best bug type Pokemon in BDSP OU is none other than Sizzle. Now Sizzle has always been a good Pokemon. It was especially good even back in the OG DPP OU because of its steel typing, and given it only one weakness to fire, is also a very strong Pokemon with Technician and Sword Stance. Sizzle has a lot of things it can carry out. It can be a defogger with a Spadef set using U-turn, Bullet Punch, Roost. It can run that. A less seen set on Sizzle is Choice Band, and a lot of people in the chat that I was in today in the BDSP metagames were speaking about Banded Sizzle. And now Banded Sizzle obviously has 130 base attack to use and a okay speed to, like 65 is not good by any means, but it still has good bulk, so it doesn't die in one hit. And obviously it's only one weakness means it's not gonna die in like a super one hit unless it's like a really strong special attacker. Now it has the moves to work with the Choice Band. It has U-turn, so you have strong pivoting and momentum. You have Iron Head as good stab that isn't any Bullet Punch. It's a shame you lost Superpower with the lack of home compatibility, but obviously that'll be alleviated once home does come out. So again, we are in the very early stages of the meta, and things will obviously change over time when you know, home comes out and Pokemon get their moves back. But either way, the last slot, I don't even know what you want to be running in the last slot. Like Brick Break, I really don't know. But regardless, it's your choice because you're lacking Superpower. So I guess Brick Break for Heatran if you really want to get Heatran caught out and certain stuff like that. Sizzle also has, you know, it's mostly Spadef that's seen usage right now. Either max HP, max Spadef, or enough speed to outrun, like, there's nothing particular that you want to be outrunning. I mean, Adamant Crawdon would probably be cool to outspeed, so that would require, nope, not enough speed. I don't even think you want to be running more than like 160 speed EVs, because again, you're getting to like 176 speed with only 84 Spadef EVs, and you're not even that bulky, to be honest. So I guess you don't really need the speed, but you guys can let me know in the comments what Sizzle Spadef spread you're running. But like, I don't want to be running 176 speed EVs just to outspeed Adamant Crawdon. But there's probably some other things that you want to be creeping that's a bit better. But yeah, Sizzle also has a Sword Dance set, which is obviously very scary under the right circumstances. It can either be bulky Sword Dance with Roost and U-turn, or it can just be max attack, max speed with like complete like moves like Iron Head in the back as well, even Brick Break again to hit Heatran, because again, you lost Superpower, so you can't really threaten Heatran with this current moveset. So obviously Brick Break gives you that opportunity to do so. Shame it's not boosted by Technician, but not much you can do about that. But yeah, Sizzle is definitely the best one bug type in BDSP, and I don't think that's really gonna change anytime soon in my honest opinion, because everything else is just kind of bad. It's really just bad. But yeah, I'd say number 2 in terms of a one that also continues a niche that excludes Shackle, because again, I wouldn't even say Sizzle's number 1, Shackle's number 2, because again, Shackle is still a very niche Pokemon. Another Pokemon I think that could find its place potentially is Janmega. Now, Janmega has come back, wasn't in Sword and Shield, so this is its first return in Generation 8. And it pretty much does the same thing it did in Gen 7 and any gen before that. it is a really strong special attacker, especially the fact that it has Tinted Lens as its ability, which basically ignores resistances. So obviously you can go Choice Specs or Life Orb or whatever, as long as you have a move that's boosting your power and you just go Bug Buzz, Air Slash. His coverage isn't even that good, to be fair, but you know, you have your dual stabs. I think that's all you really need, and then you can run like Psychic or Shadow Ball or something. Like in the last slot does not really matter. These are your bread and butter moves that you need. Shadow Ball doesn't even matter. Even Defog the last slot, it really just doesn't matter. Roost, even on the Life Orb set, and I don't think you'd probably want to be running Roost. U-turn potentially to get a switch out on Choice Spec, so you're not like locked in. But at the end of the day, still have Tinted Lens, so resistances don't really matter. The only thing that U-turn would be beneficial for is obviously Heatran. Like Heatran has a quarter resistance to Bug Buzz, so if you lock yourself into that, it still gets half. So it's only like a half resistance, if you get what I'm saying. So at the end of the day, U-turning on a Heatran might be a good idea to get in something like Glyce or something. And yeah, you just go max special attack, max speed with either timid or modest nature. Now, the problem with Janmega is obviously the fact that it has a times 4 weakness to rocks, and obviously rocks are very common in BDSP, and a lot of people are using hazards like stealth rocks, obviously. So Janmega doesn't always have the best time switching in. So obviously you need a lot of hazard support to get rid of that, or Janmega isn't really achieving anything. So that's why it's a bit on the harder side to use, but with support, Janmega can definitely break holes in teams, and it's definitely the bug type I would say is worth using more after Sizzle, of course. So yeah, again, as I said, it's a short video because there's really nothing else that you want to be using in terms of the bug type. Like bug type is probably not one of the best typings in BDSP, but I obviously have like 2-3 more to go over, and then I can end off the video. Now the next one I want to talk about is Fortress, and I almost forgot Fortress existed for a second, but obviously if you consider the amount of spike users we have in the tier, and as you can see, we don't really have that much. Cloister prefers to just be running Shell Smash. Captain is not willing to see any use. Deadly Bird as well. Frostlass, again, as I said, is a very common lead on the ladder at the moment. Glady, outclassed by Frostlass. Omastar won't find any usage really. Coolfish as well. And Roserade and Skarmory are also mons that are going to be decently common. But considering that we're looking at bug types, Fortress is the only bug type with spikes, and one of the few Pokemon with spikes that actually has a niche. Now, the good thing about Fortress is that compared to the OG DPP meta, Sturdy actually works as it should, that you always survive from one hit, because Sturdy before only used to make you immune to one hit KO moves, but obviously when they changed that in Generation 5, Sturdy became a viable ability. Now, obviously Fortress can either be used as a lead with spikes or Stealth Rock. It has access, wait, never mind, does have Stealth Rock, I'm chatting the most, but it's a spike setter, T-spike setter. Preferably you want to be setting up spikes, because I think spikes are a lot more valuable in this meta now, especially the fact that things like Gengar aren't floating anymore. Gengar is decently common just to get rid of your toxic spikes. So it doesn't have the OP explosion they did in Generation 4, but at the same time it has Volt Switch now, which is a new move that wasn't in OG Gen 4, and it's been using it ever since Generation 5. So obviously you get up your spikes and whatnot, and then you can get the slow Volt Switch out into one of your breakers. Fortress actually has really good physical defense, so obviously against a physically defensive Pokemon, and it obviously shares the same type as Sizzle, it can find opportunities to easily Volt Switch as long as there's not really a ground type on the team. And yeah, it always has a chance to set up its hazards as well. So I actually don't know what else you'd want to run on this. I mean, T-Spikes if you get the opportunity to, and then Gyro Ball I guess as a, you know, a way of doing damage that you do a lot of damage, because if you go max Fizz Def and then 8 in there and then go Relax Nature, then your Gyro Ball's doing a lot of damage. But yeah, Fortress is definitely another hazard setter that you should consider. Probably has more of a niche than Shackle right now, just because it's more consistent and actually isn't a complete passive wall, and it actually gives you momentum for your other team members. But yeah, the next bug type I wanted to talk about, obviously the one that I think deserves mentioning, is probably Heracross, to be honest. And Heracross is probably something that can probably find use in like a BDSP UU, but I still want to mention Heracross because it's not inherently bad as a Pokemon. Like Heracross is a very strong Pokemon. It has a lot of good sets it can run. It can run Flame Orb Guts, obviously. It can run Choice Scarf with Moxie as to be a sweeper in the late game. But at the same time, the reason why Heracross isn't like too hot overall in the BDSP metagame is because there's a lot of fighting competition now. All the fighting types we have in the tier that, like, we have Blaziken, which is really strong, Infernape, which is also a really solid Pokemon, Breloom as well, my most hated Pokemon in the metagame right now. Breloom is just really annoying to face, and not much else is really there, but you really have to consider things into perspective. Why would I want to be using Heracross right now when Blaziken, Infernape, and Breloom exist? Like, it's just very hard to justify using Heracross over much, but don't underestimate Heracross. You know, if you see a Flame Orb Guts one, just be very scared, because Heracross still has its really good, you know, damage output and decent coverage moves and Earthquake, and it lost knockoff, but you know, we make Stone Edge work, Edgequake work, and you know, Heracross can get something done. You know, so you know, it will do well in the BDSP for sure, but right now, I don't really consider Heracross. Like, I wouldn't say it's bad. Like, it's not an awful Pokemon. It's just hard to justify over the other fighting types we have in the tier. And the last bug type I wanted to mention, another Pokemon that isn't inherently bad, but probably will find a good niche in the lower tier if they get developed, is Venomoth. Now, Venomoth brought over Quiver Dance into BDSP, so obviously it can be a really good sweeper in the lower tiers with its stab combination and tinted lens. So obviously it's like Janmega, but Janmega doesn't have Quiver Dance, so like Venomoth will probably find a better spot in like a UU or RU if they ever get developed. But it's hard to justify Venomoth in OU because, again, it's hard to set up with Venomoth. It's not particularly bulky, and 90 base speed is actually pretty solid, but at the same time, like, unboosted speed, it's easy to outspeed, and its bug typing isn't really giving it any useful resistances. But it is a good T-Spikes absorber if, you know, T-Spikes gets a bit popular. But definitely this mon can get something done if it has the support, because obviously tinted lens removes resistances, so it can break pretty efficiently, and it also has sleep powder. This is the way you win with Venomoth, to be honest. This is all you need. Again, it has the same issue that something as common as Heatran can easily just come in and wall it, but things like Gliscor, for example, obviously don't want to be switched into a Sludge Bomb because of tinted lens. But yeah, that is all the bug types that I wanted to go over. These are the only ones I think really have any worth use in BDSP OU right now. And even then, stuff like Janmega, Heracross, and Venomoth will probably find better niches in like a UU or RU. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Obviously, the next one is going to be the Dark type, because that is the type that follows alphabetically after Bug. And Dark types look a lot better than Bug types in terms of having a place in the BDSP OU metagame. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.